The next piece of the call is the elemental modifier. The simplest pieces of these are your examples: fire, ice, shock, acid.
Silver. Also a very common type. Types of damage that could be applied that is not just a weapon biting into you. Fire is burning you. Electricity is destroying your cells. Ice is destroying your cells. The acid is burning through you. It still acts as whatever type of delivery it is given. So a hit acid could be blocked with a shield, but a mystic acid could not be blocked by a shield. It's the same as just being hit with a weapon. If this weapon is wreathed in fire, you're hitting with a piece of fire.
Of elements that only matter for flavorful purposes include holy, vile, and silver. Silvered weapons are exactly that. They're generally weapons made of silver that some creatures and beings don't like being struck with. Holy and vile are deific energies attuned with the gods in the pantheon and deriving their strength from there. There are two types of elemental modifiers that have effects beyond a flavor of damage. These are poison and blood. Poison damage applies an indefinite status effect to you. Poison. This means that you cannot take any restorative effect, anything that says restore blood, until the poison is removed.
Cannot be healed, that damage.
That damage or other damage. So a poison 1 functions the exact same as a poison 6, it's just less initially devastating.
Correct. It still applies that poison debuff to you.
So just to clarify, does it mean basically your maximum hit points is reduced by the poison amount until that poison is cleansed? Or does it mean that you take 1 damage and you can't have any hit points healed?
The second. You take 1 damage and no hit points may be healed.
Okay.
I thought that was disease, not poison.
Disease is also a non-durational debuff. It is a slightly larger form of poison. It also extends to remove effects.
Okay.
So if I was missing a limb and was diseased, and Mike had the ability to remove my sever, it would not affect me until my disease was removed.
Removed first.
Okay.
It's the next higher effect type. A lot of effects are going to have different tiers. Like another one of the instantaneous effects that we missed was repel. That pushes a person 30 feet back from you. There is a lesser version of that called shove, which staggers you back 3 to 5 feet.
Exactly.
It's the difference between being blown away and being pushed away.
The final and more complicated elemental modifier is blood. Blood is a method of negating other people's defenses. Blood ignores any damage reduction a person has and any armor a person has. It is also the only elemental modifier that can apply in addition to another one. For example, you could not have a fire-ice 3, but you could have a fire-blood 3.
Correct.
What would be the purpose of adding blood to any sort of other moves?
I would assume assassination.
It allows you to bypass a character's armor. Many creatures will have natural armor that will not be something that they physically wear on top of themselves, like this armor. And so going with blood damage will allow you to bypass that armor.
It's functionally a way of negating the defenses they have natural to them to make your attacks more effective.
It is either, in character, a more precise attack or a more invasive attack.
Just a thickly scaled creature would generally exude some amount of armor, or imply some amount of armor. A fire 3, a fire strike, would hit the armor and be able to be dispersed, whereas a fire blood strike would, in theory, melt the armor and go through it, or be able to find a way into a less armored spot.
It actually bypasses the armor pool. It is like a pool of defenses that you wear. If someone calls fire blood 4, that bypasses bypasses your armor pool, and you do not have the ability to call that defense. You haven't lost any, but you don't have the ability to call it against it.